Hey y'all, happy Friday. It is gorgeous. The sun is shining, big, beautiful blue sky here in Paris, and I'm enjoying the daffodils planted alongside the ridge in the backyard. So to whomever scattered those bulbs or planted those bulbs, thank you. Thank you so much. They're absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. I've been thinking this week a lot about kindness and how unfortunately sometimes it feels like it's a lost art, or it's a lost concept or something. Like we've forgotten how to be kind to one another and how important it is. David and I recently started watching this show on Apple Plus and Apple TV Plus, and it's called Ted Lasso. And Jason Sudeikis stars in this show that is based on some promotional spots that he did for NBC Sports in the 90s. Or maybe not the 90s. I don't know. I don't know where time goes. But anyway, a few years back. And they expanded those spots and this character of this coach into, I think, a 10-episode series, and it's on Apple TV. Anyway, Jason plays this American football coach in a mid-major program in Kansas who gets hired to coach professional soccer in London. And the character is based on a high school basketball coach, I think, that Jason had, who always was full of anecdotes and didn't really curse, said, gosh darn it, things like that. Was, I guess, a little bit hokey, we might say. Since we've become so snarky lately, myself included, sometimes it's just more fun to snap back with a real funny put down or, jab at somebody than it is just to have a kind of good, clean, I don't know, I'm thinking Andy Griffith, Mayberry joke, dad jokes really is what I'm thinking about. Anyway, I fell in love with this television show and this character. And everywhere he goes, his kindness is kind of met with skepticism and downright aggression in some cases, but he never, ever returns that sentiment. He always just resorts to kindness. And in one of the episodes, he talks about staying curious when you're encountering people instead of being judgmental. So he's inspired me. Ted Lasso has inspired me to be kind, to be less judgmental, to also kind of keep my feelings off my sleeve, not to get offended, which is I can get angry sometimes. So it's been a really good exercise for me this week. So I want to highly recommend that show. It's on Apple TV Plus, and it's just absolutely delightful. Now, Ted doesn't say any curse words, but there is language and adult content throughout the show. So it's not Andy Griffith. It is not Mayberry. But in the midst of all of that, of what our life is in 2021, here's this guy who's actually very kind and very optimistic. There's a poem by one of my favorite poets, right? There's always a poem. You should know that by now about me. Naomi Shihab Nye is let's see here. She's an Arab American poet, and she gives voice to her experience as an Arab American woman and the heritage and the peace that comes from being an absolute humanitarian. And this is one of my favorite poems of hers. It's called Kindness. And I think that it is important to understand what kindness is, that I do understand it in a new way post-2020 and post this election year and some of the nasty things that we have said and thought about people who disagree with us or look different than we do or believe different things than we do or practice their religion or their faith or their social activism in different ways. We've been sometimes less than kind. So I want to read this poem to you today on this Friday, Kindness by Naomi Shihab Nye, Nye. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. what you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go. So you know how desolate the landscape can be. Between the regions of kindness, as you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. Passengers eating maize and chicken who will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for." And then it is only kindness that goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. Friend, it is always darkest before the dawn. It is only after living in times of unkindness or having experiences of unkindness when kindness shines like the Friday afternoon sun in my backyard. So my prayer for you today is that you show kindness and that you find kindness and that kindness becomes your companion as we continue our journey through Lent. Blessings. Go in peace. Thank you for watching.